What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtimedr, back from my little vacay. I wanted to get into my thoughts here on Arkknights. Actually, thank you. I actually kind of had to get convinced to play this game, but I'm glad I did. So shout out to Horrible Chopstick for that. All right, so for those of you that haven't heard of this game, I think it's only January, but I think this is already potentially gotcha of the year. So go over this with you guys. Tell you what I think. Every day there's about 2 stamina refills that are mailed to you. That's a very good thing. Although I've already managed to go through most of my stamina. It's called sanity in this game. Now we got all these currencies up here. I'm not completely familiar with all of them, but I know this one you can basically convert. I guess that's the Originum, which you can spend. I think you get 1 of those per battle that you beat. But anyways, you can convert all that if you want to the summon currency, which is this currency. But you can also use it for skins. Skins in this game, they're purely cosmetic. And to be quite honest, we'll go to the store real quick. The store actually has some pretty good discount stuff here. I'm not talking about the money stuff, but let's see. I can find something decent. So these are friend points. You see here I bought some of this stuff. So they have sales. It'll kind of randomly spawn. It'll be up to minus 99%. So it'll be pretty good stuff. Like this is mostly upgrade materials. This is for building your base, which I'll show you in a second. LMD, that's basically gold. Pretty good. Sugar used to upgrade. And of course, this is where the outfit shop's going to be. So we'll get to the base here real quick. Now, my base is a little funky. I'm actually thinking about rebuilding it because I have 3 workshops and 1 order factory, which I think I need to actually... Or not workshops, sorry, factories. I think I need to actually reverse the process here. I got too many factories for right now. I didn't actually hop onto this until, it's been about 2 or 3 days now. So I'll go over what all the buildings do. Control center, that's basically the nerve, the brains of the commands here. The more you upgrade this, the more that you can dig deeper and upgrade more buildings and get access to more rare stuff. Now you can actually assign operators, that's all the units in the game. These are the units that you actually use in the tower defense portion. And they'll give you various bonuses depending on where they are assigned. So this lady Catapult here, what she's doing. When operators assigned to trading post, order acquisition effectiveness plus 30% and morale consumed minus 25. Morale is basically how long they can do something before they get distracted. So it's basically a simulator for working an 8-10 hour day. Whatever you're gonna do. Order acquisition efficiency, what that is. There's all these orders over here that come in and you gotta fill them based on your production capacity. So it takes X amount of time to get the orders. And then if you got the materials, then they trade you whatever it says. In early game, it's mostly gold bars for LMD, cash. And then, like I said, I got 3 factories. I'm probably actually gonna get rid of 1. Factories are producing, in this case it's pure gold, but you can actually come and edit it over here, so I can make the little experience things, and then eventually when I level this up more, start making some of this higher end stuff. And then power plant, that just basically provides power for all your facilities to run. No big deal there. Dormitory, that's where you send your units to recover their morale once they're low. And then also the cool thing about Dormitory is there's all this furniture that either drops in the game or you can actually come over here and buy it, and depending on how furnished your facility is, it will basically increase their morale a little bit. So like I could put this, if I want to, I could just put it wherever the hell, and it provides a little bonus of morale. So there's a little bit of decoration in this game, which is pretty cool. I'm sure you can have like just this amazing bomb room if you want. And then once you go over here, the right side of the base is actually the more important stuff. So your reception room, that actually, it serves two purposes. It gives you a bonus to the number of friends you can have. And then also it serves as a place that all your friends in the game can actually come over. And there's this little mini game where you acquire clues. You'll see right here, and you can give clues to friends. They can give you clues. You can also assign your operators to search for clues. And then, to be perfectly honest, I don't even know what happens once you get all the clues. I had them all, and then I turned it in, but I'm not sure if that's giving it to somebody else or what have you. Yeah, let's check the facility info. Yeah, meet and greet. So anyways, and then over here, the workshop. Workshop is where you can basically fabricate things that you need. So you come over here, say you need some light building materials because you're gonna upgrade or build things in your base. You just put it here, make the max, and it's gonna cost X amount to do it. So in this case though, I don't need that stuff. And then over here, last thing is the office. So office, it's basically a recruitment thing. So I'd have to actually go show you that. That's a different screen, but yeah, we might as well just go do that. And there's all types of other stuff you can do in there, but it's a pretty cool little thing. Everyone's got all their crazy builds already for like high maintenance bases that are like the optimal in production, and then of course you got your medium maintenance, or actually low maintenance base that kind of does a little bit less production, which is what I'm going for right now, unless I get really serious. So this is recruitment. Cool thing about recruitment, you see the timers going there. You can have it up to 9 hours, and it will have a certain amount of class tags that are kind of random. What you're hoping for is eventually to get like a veteran class tag, or to get some certain combo, because there's a guide where, like, let me pump it over here so you guys can see. So right here, you can see that if you put in certain combinations, you're going to get certain characters, and some of the characters you can only get from recruitment. So you're hoping, because not all those combinations spawn at the same time, you only got a choice of 5 combinations from what I've seen. So, but eventually you can go 1 hour, you only get 1, 2, and 3 star units, or you can go 9 hours or 8 hours and have a chance at a 5 star. In most cases, to be perfectly honest, what I would recommend, if you can't get one of those combos, you should probably just go to whatever gives you the chance for the 5 star. I think it's about 8 or 7 hours. And then if you can get one of those combos though, just give it the full time so you can actually get the unit. And like I said, there are certain units that you can only get from recruit. Now, headhunting, for those of you that are wondering if there's actually gacha in this, yes, there is. They actually just came up with this banner. So what I've seen so far from all the banners is, you see right here, guaranteed 5 star or higher in the next 6 rolls. It starts at 10. And pretty much, you got to spend, they actually give you little tokens you can use, like single pulls. I haven't seen a 10 pull token yet. But normally it's going to take this currency up here. So basically, you're going to get one of these 5 star units. I guess possibly another one eventually in the first 10 pulls. The last banner, I got it on the 5th pull. Oh, speaking of which, I haven't even gone over my characters, have I? But just looking at these characters, Silver Ash is amazing. He's basically a melee guy with a bird that does range attacks, which is highly uncommon. I believe there's one other unit that does something similar that's lower tier. Pragmatics. Oh yeah, Pragmatics is the Bell Lady. I forget if she's like a hybrid or whatever, but some units you can only put on range slots, and some units you can only put on melee slots, but there are some specialists that can go on both. I forget if she's one or not. I know she can go on range at least, but pretty much she does range attacks too. She's pretty strong. I used the Friends earlier. Cliffheart, I'm not sure. Matterhorn, I'm not sure. Although I remember that they were both fairly high tier. And then they got this banner. So when I was on this banner, I got it was Croissant as my 5 star. My reroll, I got Exu. She's the best sniper in the game, or at least highest tier sniper. Best is kind of subjective depending on what you're doing. Angelica, I believe, is the best support in the game. Zima, I'm trying to remember. She's one of the better starter units. Starter units are basically units you put down first to generate DP deployment points so that you can deploy your higher cost units. For Sun, I remember she's actually a pretty good tank. I think she has like an AoE knockback or stun or something. And then Skyfire, she does pretty awesome caster damage. Anywho, so that's most of what we're doing. They give you a lot of early game currency and missions and stuff to do, which is pretty cool. Oh, one thing I will highlight about the missions real quick before we get the squads. The cool part about missions, like you'll notice here on my weekly, I actually have some leftover things that I didn't do. Well, that's because as you do them, they have these little tower things right here. And like say there's 3 on this one, so you gotta fill, this one gives you 2, this one gives you 1. Okay, now you get these rewards because you got 3 and it goes down the line. But you don't have to do every freaking mission, which is cool. You can see here I basically had 4 extras, 2 of which I've satisfied since then, but then 2 I haven't. So, but it's cool. Same thing with dailies. You don't have to do all the daily stuff necessarily to get, you know, to get the missions all cleared and stuff. In this case, it's weird because there's only 1 left over, but the last one, it was like 4 or 5. And then these are just like benchmark things that you do. There's also a little extra bonus thing over here you get. I actually need to go do that one. All right, so let's take a look at squads. So my reroll, what I first rolled, everyone was hating on me in the chat, and unfortunately I lost the video. Otherwise I would have posted it for you guys. But I got X-Squall as your guaranteed 6-star on the first pull. I believe I got Pilopis, who's a probably top tier AoE healer. Not quite top tier healer though, but she's still super good. I got Platinum, who's basically behind X-Squall, but still pretty damn good. And I forget who else. Okay, so on my second pull, I got a double 6-star, which was Hoshi and Siege here. So Hoshi's technically the top tier, what they call them, guards or defenders. Whatever, they block units so that your units can beat them up for a while and they're tanky. And then Siege is basically the best starter unit in the game. What makes her so cool? When you get her early, instantly gain 12 deployment points once she reaches a certain charge. You put a unit down and they start charging. It takes a while for them to reach their charge. Right now I'm using Arrow Hammer though, just because it helps her do a little bit more damage, and I generally don't have too many problems with the deployment points now, even though it does get to be an issue at some point. So, and then you upgrade skills. You can upgrade, once you promote a unit, it'll kind of preview you, okay, this is what they're gonna get, and here's all the skill points right here, and the passives and whatever, and you gotta farm this material over here to do it. So if you see anybody with like the, this right here, the kind of crosshairs things, that means that they're promoted. So promoted means that they reach max level from whenever you got them. And you had all the materials, you promote them, then they get either a passive or an active, depending on their level. Now, the cool part about this game is every unit is technically viable in the game, even like you go way over here to like these 2-stars. Because the problem with having, if you just launch with like all the top tier units on a map, well, they all cost a butt ton of deploy, most of them. So a lot of maps, they will spawn a bunch of stuff really early, and you just don't have the deployment points necessary to block them all and effectively kill them, because units can only block so many units when you're doing it. So let's go ahead, we'll do, I'm trying to think of a map that'll actually showcase. This Annihilation's pretty good. So we'll do an Annihilation map. I believe I got the like 297 on this. This is a weekly map, which you farm for Oradem, which is the summon slash costume currency. And you farm X amount of it, and you try to get to the cap, which I'm actually fairly behind on. It's actually pretty pricey, considering I got 97 stamina, but we'll go ahead and do it. So the cool part about this is normally when you're trying to 3-star map, you can't take a support unit, but in this case, I can take a support. Ooh, they have an Airfreed and a Silver Ash. I think I have to go Silver Ash, but now here's a thing that new players versus veterans will see here. Veterans in quotes, because game's been out a week, but you see this level 50, you see this level 30. You're like, ah, the level 50, but look, this guy has the hash marks though for being an elite. This guy doesn't, so this guy's technically better. So we'll go ahead and take him here. Shout out to Crypt. Crypt actually gave me a lot of help the first couple days I was playing. Oh, and then also one of the unique things before I get into this, you have to hold certain parts of the map eventually. Like, there's real-time attacks to where the game doesn't wait for you. They just flat out attack your outposts. So if you don't have multiple squads ready to defend it efficiently, you're going to lose out on a lot of farm and a lot of currency and stuff. So that's actually one of the things that attracted me to this game. Alright, so let's try it again. Oh, also there's a bunch of phase benchmarks that basically give you bonuses. So if you can get to these. So you're trying to hit those benchmarks every week. Alright, let's see if Kamikaze Silver Ash is still here. Operation Annihilation. Annihilatio. Sounds like a espresso or something. Or no bog. Alright, I gotta see. Okay, so let me explain this real quick. Here's how battle works. What you see up top above the units, that's their deployment costs. You have a cost meter right here. Usually it starts at like 0 or pretty low and it gets deployed or it gets filled slowly. But in this case, there's no deployment bonus slowing, so you actually have to deploy units. Now, they're going to telegraph what they're going to do. You saw that little hash mark there. So what that tells you is, okay, they're coming from that way. They can spawn in the red zones, and they're trying to get to the blue zones. So, like, you see this red up here, like you're thinking maybe it'll be up here. I made that mistake my first map. They don't do it, at least not in the first 300. So now what I'm gonna do, last time, these are star units, that's what these little hashtag things at the corner of them look like. So you see this going right here, that's the top is their health, the bottom is their energy meter. When that gets to full, there's usually some effect that goes off, like she's gonna do her little AoE attack. And then that gives me a little bit of deployment points. So there's a 2x speed. I'm trying to be kind of careful here. I don't know for sure if that guy is gonna go full over, which he is. So what I have to do now, I have to decide, okay, what am I gonna do with my units? Because sometimes you need your units to be spread, sometimes you need healers to be everywhere. In this case, what I'm gonna do, I am actually going to go Silver Ash down. And then that's, like I said, he's the top tier caster guy. See his bird going crazy there, and he's already freaking charged, which is a... What the hell? I've never seen one charge that fast. Can switch between original state and following state. Range reduces... Defense plus 55, restore HP by 3.5 seconds. Oh, okay. So basically, you can have him go into tank mode if you need him to be in tank mode. Speed it up a little bit. I'm waiting for... Because I don't want to, like, put units somewhere and then it's like, uh-oh, I forgot. I shouldn't have done it that way or whatever, so... And then the way you deploy, you basically have them face a direction and they'll tell you... they'll basically tell you, okay, this is how you're gonna attack. I'm trying to see. I think I like her here. Then I'll put the healer up top. We'll go with that. This is a common 3-star unit. Unfortunately, I don't have the top tier caster AoEers. This is Lava, but Lava's still pretty decent. She's a low tier unit, but you can see she's pretty effective at her job. What she's trying to do. So what I'm gonna do fairly soon here, not right now. Eventually, there are gonna be units that fire back at you, like little snipers and casters and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to actually deploy my healer. I'm probably gonna put her around here, so that she can heal most of these units, and then I have another healer tank over here with Gumi here. She's actually 4-star, so she's not super high tier either, but she's one of the self-healing tanks, and she also throws heals on nearby units, so I kind of use her as a secondary healer slash tank. I should probably actually, to be perfectly honest, get another healer, like full-time healer rather. They're going hard with the AoE here. As you can see, I kind of actually do need the AoE healer, because the issue is she can block 2 units. He can block 2 units, so if more than 4 units get through at some point, then they're just gonna walk on by and go straight to the deployment thing. I have 10 total I can let by before the map ends. And we'll see what they're gonna start doing. But this game's actually very good at making you uncomfortable. There's lots of units that are basically unkillable, but you have to have a unit that can push, and you can push them down like these little cliffs. There's little stun deployment things that you can have. There's blocks that blockade certain things in some maps. And there's also guys that drop on you with like jetpacks, so that can get pretty tense because they actually do a grip of damage, and then they distract your DPS from what they would normally focus on. And sometimes the enemy will have stations on the map with like really powerful units like leaders or casters, and you got to try to kill them if you want to deploy units farther forward in the map. Alright, these guys actually kind of hurt, so I'm gonna do... thinking like right here. No. Oops. Right there is decent. Okay. So that's Exusol, who's technically the top sniper on the map, or on the game right now. But like I said, just because someone's top guys doesn't mean they're the best, necessarily, as far as, I gotta make a decision if I want to heal her or the AoE. Alright, well, Silver Ash can technically heal himself. Damn, dude, he recharges fast. Alright, now we gotta see how many of those are gonna be coming up. So this unit, it's Doberman, so it's a story unit, but pretty much she can attack farther away than most units. So I stick her behind because she's gonna help block as well eventually once they start getting their crazy units going. So I only got 2 more units I could put out. What I'm probably gonna do, I gotta have at least 1 healer up top. So I'll probably put out a Gumi and then probably the caster, although I may put out my snarer. Just depends on who starts coming out. Now these are little active things that you see, so if I hit this, she gets 30%. then more, or 30 more attack speed rather, the flat value. Alright, so I see this cat up here, he's just chilling. I know he's kind of tanky, so I'm like, yo, that ain't happening, bro. You taking some damage. So this is the story caster that actually helps rescue you in the story. But she's actually like right below top tier caster as far as single target casters go. That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, fun fact, the story in this game, it's quite long-winded, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually got a pretty good story going. Now, pretty soon, eventually, what I'm gonna do, because there's lots of redeployment I need to do. As soon as we get more, like value, I'm actually gonna put Gumi over here, and then just use her as a backup redeploy. You can dismiss people, and you get a chunk of the deployment points back. So once things start to get really serious here, I'm actually probably gonna dismiss her, put Gumi down, and then eventually get my snare down, and that should be now these are the units right here that actually do a little bit of attacking, you see here, so that's part of the reason why I put my healer. Oh, except she wasn't facing that way. Well, I should have put my healer there, but what you can do, I also got a deployment unit. Code, I figured her name, Code Red? Project Red. So pretty much, she has really, because normally when you redeploy a unit, it takes a lot of time, but she only takes 17 seconds, which is cool. Significantly reduced redeployment time. When you put her down, execution mode, attack plus 40, physical dodge times 20%, so she's pretty much there just to take out external threats. And once her haste runs out, you can kind of decide right then. Oh, what? Maybe I should put her just for the healing. Yeah, I think I'll do that. But then we don't have any healing up top. Oh, that's such a hard choice. Well, I guess I don't have to right now. I do need to get her heals at some point. Her redeployment takes freaking forever. So every time she ranks, or gets energy, she throws a heal out to anyone basically in any of the squares around her. Which is pretty good. She can also heal herself. So you see these guys, part of them just run right through her, which is fun. He can stop 2 people. My best tank right now can stop 3 people. I don't know if there's ever any tanks that can go way higher than that, although I think I heard someone say that there was a tank that stops 5 people. But oh well. So what I'm gonna do now... Dismissing you. We're throwing... Kill this dude ASAP. If another one comes, yeah, okay. Even without haste, she should be able to kill her still. And then she'll just handle them for now. Eventually I'll redeploy her for something else. You can see they're starting to spawn up here too, which just kind of screwed me. So what I'm gonna do now, she deployed this, because they're gonna kill her sooner than later up there. Start my redeployment. So this unit right here is technically the best defender in the game. I think that's what they're called. Maybe guard, I forget, but she can block 3 units. She's not very high level right now. In fact, I don't even think I have her with an elite level. You see she's getting beat up pretty good. But oh well, she's doing her job. What she's there for. Go ahead and just cut these guys off ASAP. And I gotta dismiss her before she dies. So what we'll do... that for now. That sound means somebody died. Yeah, those dudes with the little spike axe, they actually hurt pretty good. I'll do. It looks like she's not gonna make it. But she gets her stomp off. Or not. Yeah, it's pretty good. So you see here, as people die, their deployment cost goes up, as well as they have a cooldown, so it can get pretty serious. I probably actually should have let them reach her, just so we could get some AoE targets. Oh yeah, another thing about this game. If you have kind of like a situation somewhere on the map, the last deployed unit is usually going to be the unit that they are going to attack. So that gives you some strategic, little bit of strategery there, as George W. Bush would say. But right now, actually, I'm not doing that good, just because I got the 297 last time. But I had kind of like a different pattern I was following. So hopefully we get some freaking deployment points. Actually, we can't anymore. I'm screwed on that. Unless there's some way that we get it later. Well, I kind of played this map badly, to be honest, but that's cool. Rome wasn't built in a day. My issue was if I was gonna take one of them away, I should have, well, the other one technically died, but I should have had her in a safe spot. What I should have did, actually, is have one of them in this slots, just so they could poke anyone that comes over here. I mean, there's all types of strategies, to be perfectly honest. That's part of the fun about this game, is all types of craziness that can happen. All types of combinations of... I'm back into DPS mode. He's probably going down next. So anyways, at some point, about like 240, I should get overwhelmed here. The healing mode we go. Now, normally on most maps, just not on this map, you actually get, during kills, they will actually give you a little bit more of the deployment cost. Yeah, the final four are here, baby. In retrospect, what I should probably do is actually build closer up here. And then that way I could have units at DPS. I could face them down and they could DPS backwards and forwards. Among other things. Anyways, let's get this over with. So that's like the weekly map. You're trying to get to 400. My best is 297 right now. I agree. Okay, so I'll show you guys one more thing. So there is an AI in this game, and the cool part about the AI is it basically does exactly what you did once you 3-star a map without a friend unit. So let me go ahead and take one. Oh, I guess I changed the map, so. Okay, this is a good example. So you hit auto deploy. You come over here, and what it's going to do, it's going to take whatever the last thing that you saved is, and it's just going to auto-deploy the units the way that you did now. In most cases, that's fine, but the problem is if you just like barely scraped by, or you had people that were like fairly low health, they can straight up just die when it's auto-deployed, so you can't actually take it over if you need to. I was about to say, did I even do this? Oh, actually, yeah, this was actually one of my favorite maps. My AoE went ham here. So, but sometimes it's gonna fail. And it'll kind of tell you, like, auto-deploy has an error rate. You'll see it flash over here, and then if it does actually fail, like you succeed the map but you don't get 3-star, because getting 3-star gives you the full rewards. If you get 2-star, it's reduced rewards. It'll give you the option to be like, do you want to replay it? And it'll refund you most of your stamina, which is sanity in this game. Yeah, you see this air risk detected. So this is what was going on here when I did this map. I think it was 2 days ago. I'm just gonna start calling her Code Red. Basically the same thing. Look at Exu going ham over there. Yeah, she has a nice radius right there. And there's freaking lava. Time for AoE death. Now these guys right here are the most problematic on the map because they can only be... I'm trying to remember what their thing was. It's something to the effect of like... They're fairly tanky, they move really fast. And either they can't be blocked or there was something like that. I just forget what it was. But luckily they have this pattern rather than just going like here, here, here. They go all the way around, so they're getting zapped the whole time by my squad. Now this girl, I didn't get too much into her though. She's actually a fairly common unit, but she slows Orchid. That's the main reason she's out. Now they have all types of like little like support units, specialists that all have their different play styles that are actually pretty cool. Like Project Red is one. There's one, you put her out, and she has like 200% defense and a big fat shield, but she's losing defense and the shield fairly rapidly. So she's just there to like stall while you get something else going on, or you're waiting for a cooldown or whatever. And that's kind of what all the specialists do, so pretty good stuff there. And then there's like AoE, there's AoE casters, there's AoE healers, there's AoE physical characters, gunners, snipers. So there's all types of playstyles, and it's good to actually build up multiple units, not just a couple, and even like the lobby units. It's actually pretty much preferred early game to try to build up at least half your squad as lobby units for the most part. But anyways, to tell you guys, to be perfectly honest, I'm very excited for this game. I'm having just a blast with this game right now. So, probably be streaming it a little bit tonight, but I wanted to get a video out for you guys. January is kind of a rough month for me because I do taxes as a kind of like a seasonal job, so it doesn't give me much time to do anything else. But I'm not having to do as much right now, so I will be pumping out some videos. As far as you guys have made it this far. As far as what I'm playing on my channel so far this year, I'm doing another Eden. Went back to that, love that game. Chrono Trigger is my favorite Super NES game of all time, so loving the story on that. They just had their year update, which I don't know if you can still get it, but if you log in, you get 1,000 of the currency. And among other things, they added like a whole bunch of new content. So I'm playing that, I'm playing this, and I'm also still playing Last Claudia, even though Last Claudia kind of pissed me off. Not the typical stuff that I see most people are mad at, though. It is... The thing that I don't like is the shop. They increased the cost of everything in the shop from the previous events. So now if you want Mother Souls, it's something dumb, like 88 currency or something like that, whereas it used to be 20. And so farming all that up is kind of a chore. Like, I'm not gonna freaking play 24 hours worth of event battles in that game, so I don't know what those guys are thinking, but whatever. Whatever's going on is whatever's going on, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and tear down one of these. Build mode. Downgrade.
The facility has been removed.
Go ahead and put an order facility. Trading post.
Infrastructure complete.
Yeah, at some point I actually gotta level all these to 2. But anyways, we'll get this going here. Trading post efficiency plus 20. Oh yeah, so when you're assigning somebody in this game, you can kind of see depending on which skills are highlighted. So like you can even go all the way over here, but these people are like on shift or whatever. She would actually be way better for this. But she's on HR right now. So you just basically have to decide, okay, what do you want? You want order efficiency, you want extra order limits, which is good when you're offline, or if you're not going to play for a while. In most cases, though, I just go for straight efficiency. It looks like Melania is actually going to be the best. Actually, Yaito just gets a straight 30. Okay, we'll do that. And then they're just gonna start working. The ways to go. Alright guys, so let me know your experience in this game. You having fun with it? Are you thinking of trying it out? What's going on? I've shown you guys what I got to work with. And maybe you can make some recommendations to me too. I still gotta select my unit from the little 18 days thing. I'm either gonna go with the best healer, I forget her name, or I think there was a pretty close to top tier support there as well that I might go for. Apparently I don't have any power plant workers. Oh well. Still love the medical butt. Alright guys, and that will be it for me. So, you want to see me streaming this? Go over to twitch.tv/Showtimedr. There's also a link to my Discord in the description down below the video. Also guys, I'm doing a new project now. I want to show you guys. Let me actually pull it up. No one knows about this, because I literally just started it maybe a week ago, just as a side project, so I got another Reddit going on. Reddit thoughts and... or Reddit, I got another, thing going on, Reddit Thoughts and Chaos. It's basically a Reddit channel where I read, like, the best of Reddit stuff, and put up some videos, some funny stories and stuff. So if you get a chance, go check that out. Maybe give me a follow there, that'd help me out a lot. It's going to be my side project for now, but I'm trying to, you know, just diversify a little bit. see what's going on. So if you feel like checking that out, I'd appreciate it. And that is going to be it for me, guys. So have yourselves a wonderful day. See you later. Peace.